My fiancée said she was saving herself for marriage, then cheated on me with my older brother saying, I couldn't handle myself with him. You're a virgin, you'd never get it. So I got my brutal revenge. All right, Reddit. I caught my fiancée and my brother in my bed after 4 years of respecting her wait until marriage boundaries. Broke his nose. My parents slapped me and told me to apologize to him. And my whole Mormon family chose the golden child over basic decency. So I chose scorched earth and watched every single one of them burn. Grab some popcorn because this gets wild. So I, 28 male, living in Mesa, Arizona, working as a commercial electrician making decent money. Got my journeyman license at 22, bought my house at 25, and genuinely thought I had my life together. I'm Mormon, which is relevant because that's how this whole disaster got so spectacularly out of hand. My family's been LDS for generations. The type where everyone's got some ancestor who knew someone important, and Sunday dinners at my parents' place were basically mandatory attendance events. My older brother Damien was always the golden child. Guy's 34, married his high school sweetheart Abigail, popped out 3 kids, bought a big house in Gilbert, got some management position at a medical device company, checked every single box on the Mormon success checklist, and my parents acted like he personally discovered fire. Every family gathering was the Damien show. His latest promotion, his kids' achievements, his wife's volunteer work, his new car. I could have won the lottery and cured cancer simultaneously, and my dad would still ask if I'd heard about Damien's quarterly sales numbers. Met Haley 4 years ago at a wedding reception. She was visiting from California, had that wholesome girl next door thing going. We hit it off, did the long distance thing for 6 months before she moved to Phoenix for work. Here's where it gets interesting. Haley wasn't Mormon. She grew up in some non-denominational church she stopped attending in college. But about 8 months in, she started asking questions about my faith. Came to church with me. Met with the missionaries. 6 months later, she got baptized. My parents absolutely lost their minds with joy. A convert girlfriend who actually seemed serious about the faith. I'd finally done something that impressed them. Mom cried at the baptism. Dad gave this whole speech about how proud he was. Even Damien seemed happy for me, which is ironic now. 2 months after her baptism, Haley sat me down for a serious talk. We'd been physical to a point. Nothing that would require confessing to a bishop, but definitely towing the line. She wanted to stop completely. Wait until marriage like she should have been doing all along now that she understood the faith better. I respected it. Frustrating, obviously. But I wasn't going to pressure someone about religious boundaries. We'd waited this long, we could wait until the wedding. I proposed a year after her baptism. Phoenix Temple grounds at sunset, grandmother's ring, the whole setup. She cried, said yes. My family was thrilled. Haley moved into my house about 6 months after we got engaged. Made financial sense since she was paying rent while spending most nights at my place anyway. My bishop wasn't thrilled about the living situation before marriage, but we assured him separate bedrooms, keeping the commandments, and wedding planning in full swing. The wedding was set for June. We'd been engaged for about 18 months by that point. Every time I pushed for an actual date, Haley found another reason to wait a few more months. She wanted everything to be perfect. Temple recommends interviews, reception venues, and losing weight for her dream dress. I was busy with work anyway, getting promoted to lead a crew, so I figured she'd tell me when she was ready. Damien and Abigail became oddly present during the engagement. Sunday dinners where Damien would specifically ask Haley about wedding planning. Abigail offered to help with stuff, inviting Haley to church activities, that whole Mormon women's social network thing. Mom loved it. Kept talking about how wonderful it was that Haley was bonding with the family. About 4 months before everything exploded, Haley started claiming she had Relief Society activities on Tuesday and Thursday nights. That's the women's organization at church. Made sense she'd want to be involved, except she'd actually stopped attending those activities about 3 months before everything exploded. She'd only gone for about a month before she started using them as cover. Nobody missed her because the Relief Society has like 80 women, and attendance is spotty anyway. February, Wednesday afternoon. Finished a job site early because the drywall crew was running behind. Got home around 2. My truck was in the shop, so a coworker dropped me off. Haley's car was in the driveway. So was a silver Audi SUV that I recognized immediately because Damien wouldn't shut up about it at every family dinner for the past 3 months. I walked in through the front door. The house was quiet. Then I heard it from upstairs. Not subtle, not even close. Haley's voice saying things I'd never heard in 4 years together, and Damien's voice encouraging her. 4 years of respecting her boundaries. 4 years of cold showers and stopping before things went too far. because she wanted to save herself for marriage. I stood there maybe 10 seconds before the rage hit. I walked upstairs slowly. The bedroom door was half open. They were so focused on each other they didn't notice me for a solid 5 seconds until Haley turned her head and screamed. Damien had the nerve to smirk while pulling the sheet up. Bad timing, little brother. I didn't think. Just moved. Grabbed him by the hair and yanked him out of my bed. He hit the floor and I was on him. Got in 2 solid punches before he started fighting back. 4 years of rage went into my fists. His nose made a satisfying crack sound. Blood everywhere. Haley was screaming. Damien was trying to cover up and fight at the same time. I got him in a headlock and kept punching. "Get off him!" Haley shrieked, wrapping the sheet around herself. "Trevor, stop!" I threw one more punch before standing up, breathing hard. Damien stayed on the floor, blood pouring from his nose. "Are you insane?" Haley was actually yelling at me. At me. "You could have killed him. What the hell is wrong with you?" I turned on her. 4 years, Haley. 4 years of me respecting your boundaries, and this is what you were doing? She had the audacity to lift her chin. "Oh, please. You think I was actually saving myself for you? I couldn't handle myself around him. Your virgin self could never get me there. Did you seriously think I was giving my first time to a clueless virgin?" The words hit like a physical blow. I just stared at her. "Your brother's a real man, Trevor. You could never compare." She said it like it was obvious. Like I should have known all along. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to make a woman feel. "Get out!" Damien was finally getting to his feet, holding his nose. "Come on, Haley, let's go." "No." She crossed her arms over the sheet. "He needs to hear this. Trevor, you walk around acting like you're such a good guy, such a great catch. But you're nothing. You're mediocre." That's when I heard the front door open downstairs. Footsteps. Then my mom's voice calling up. "Trevor, your father and I were driving by and saw all the cars. Is everything okay?" Perfect timing. Mom appeared in the doorway first, took one look at the scene. Damien's bloody face, Haley wrapped in my sheets, me with bleeding knuckles, and her face went white. Dad was right behind her. "What the hell is going on?" Dad's voice was sharp. "What's going on?" I gestured at the bed. "Your son was just in here with my fiancée in my house. That's what's going on." Dad's eyes went to Damien, then to Haley, then back to me. "Trevor, you can't just attack your brother like this. Are you serious right now? He's in my bed with my fiancée. That doesn't give you the right to assault him. He's your brother. He stopped being my brother when he decided to do this with my girlfriend in my house." Dad's hand came out of nowhere, slapped me hard enough that my head snapped to the side. "You don't talk about your brother like that, and you certainly don't hit him over some girl." I stared at him. "Some girl? I'm engaged to her, and he's married with 3 kids. We all sin, Trevor. We all make mistakes. That doesn't mean you get to rearrange your brother's face." "Oh, so adultery is just a mistake now? Good to know where your priorities are." Haley jumped in, still defending Damien like she had any right. "Your brother didn't do anything I didn't want him to do. This is between adults." Mom gasped. Dad's face went red, but not at Haley. At me, like this was somehow still my fault. "Get out," I said quietly, looking at all 4 of them. "All of you, get out of my house." "Trevor, you need to calm down," Mom started. I said get out. Dad looked like he wanted to hit me again. "You're going to regret this. Family is everything, and you just chose violence over forgiveness. Family doesn't do what he did. Now get out before I call the cops and Abigail and make this everyone's problem." That got them moving. Damien was already scrambling to get dressed, still holding his bleeding nose. Haley took her time, like she wanted to make sure I saw her collecting her clothes, totally unbothered by the destruction she'd just caused. "You're pathetic," she said as she walked past me. "I wasted 4 years on you." She rolled her eyes and followed Damien down the stairs. Mom tried to say something else, but I just pointed at the door. I heard 4 car doors. 4 engines starting, then silence. Sat on my couch with Rocky pressed against my leg. My knuckles were bleeding. My face hurt where Dad slapped me. What the heck is my life? Carter showed up within an hour because I'd texted him, "Need you at my house, now." He walked in, looked at my knuckles, looked at my face, and said, "Who do I need to help you hide?" Told him everything. Carter's been my best friend since junior high. He listened to the whole story, then pulled out his phone and started typing. "Abigail needs to know, tonight." I know. Text her. Say you need to talk in person tomorrow morning. Say it's about Damien, and it's urgent. I sent the text. She responded immediately asking if he was okay. Told her we just needed to talk. I met Abigail at a coffee shop in Tempe at 9 the next morning. She looked worried, confused, probably thought I was about to tell her Damien was in an accident. Damien's been sleeping with Haley for the past 3 months. I caught them yesterday at my house. I watched the color drain from her face. Her hands started shaking. She opened her mouth, but nothing came out for a solid 10 seconds. That's not... She couldn't even finish. Just kept shaking her head like she could reject reality through sheer willpower. Showed her my phone, security camera footage, cell phone records, text messages. Watched her face cycle through denial, realization, devastation, then something darker. That son of a gun. Her voice was barely a whisper. That lying son of a gun. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons, while I'm at work and you think he's at the office. The office. She laughed. Actually laughed, but it sounded broken. He told me he was closing deals, building our future. I've been home with 3 kids thinking he's out there providing for us, and he's been... She stopped, pulled up something on her own phone. The credit cards. Oh my God. The credit cards. What about them? He maxed them out 6 months ago. Told me it was a rough quarter, that his commission structure changed. Made me cut our grocery budget. I've been clipping coupons and shopping sales so he could... Her face went from pale to red. So he could wine and dine your fiancé while I'm feeding our kids pasta for the 4th night in a row. She started shaking. He did this while married to me, while I'm raising his children. I broke his nose. You should have broken more. He's been stealing from our family, from our kids, to impress some convert who thinks Mormon men are a prize? She looked at me. I'm filing for divorce. Today. And I'm taking every single thing he has left. Good for you. No. She leaned forward. You don't understand. I'm not just divorcing him. I'm destroying him. Full custody. The house. Every penny of alimony the court will give me. Child support based on what he was making when he still had a job. And I'm going to make sure everyone knows exactly why. She left. I sat there realizing I just armed Abigail with information and pure rage that was about to make Damien's life very complicated. Spent the next week acting normal. Went to work. Came home. Worked on the house. Haley's stuff was still everywhere. I let it sit there like a museum of bad decisions. She kept trying to reach me. Different numbers, email, social media. Finally sent one text. Your stuff is outside. Pick it up today or it goes to the curb. Didn't box anything, didn't fold anything. Just grabbed armfuls of her clothes, shoes, makeup, whatever, and threw it all out the front door onto the driveway. Her $200 sweaters mixed with her tampons, mixed with her hair straightener. Very therapeutic, honestly. Like spring cleaning, but way more satisfying. She showed up an hour later. I was still there, standing in the doorway, watching her pull up. The look on her face when she saw me? Priceless. She got out of her car real slow, like she was approaching a wild animal. Trevor, your stuff's right there. Take it and go. She looked at the pile on the driveway. You just threw everything out? Should I have used boxes? Wrapped them with a bow? This isn't a gift shop, Haley. It's your exit. She started gathering stuff, hands shaking a little, kept glancing at me like I might snap. Good. She should be nervous. I need to explain. No, you don't. Can you at least not hate me? It happens. Why are you acting like this? She tried coming closer to the door. I didn't move, just stood there blocking the entrance. She stopped and realized I wasn't letting her back in. Not now, not ever. Trevor, please. Can we just talk about this like adults? I don't want you to hold grudges. Her face went red. She bent down and started shoving clothes into her car faster. A bra landed on the lawn. She didn't even pick it up, just kept loading her car like she was being timed. She finished loading what she could fit and drove off without another word. Left a pile of things still on the driveway. I waited until she was gone, then threw the rest in a trash bag and left it by the curb. Found her key on the mailbox the next morning. She must have come back for the rest and decided dropping off the key was safer than knocking. The bishop called wanting to talk. Ward gossip travels fast. Told him there were some things the church needed to know about adultery and I'd be in touch. Let him sit with that. Abigail filed for divorce within a week. She went scorched earth. Full custody. The house. Alimony. Child support based on his inflated salary. Damien tried calling multiple times. Left increasingly unhinged voicemails. You told Abigail? You're that petty? This is between us. Stop dragging my wife into it. You've always been jealous of me. This is just you trying to destroy my life. Then things got real interesting. My parents called wanting to meet. Said it was an emergency. Showed up at their house to find Damien there with them. His nose was clearly broken, taped up, 2 black eyes that made him look like a deranged raccoon. This wasn't a talk. This was an ambush. Sit down, Trevor, Dad said. I'm good standing. We need to discuss your behavior. Mom jumped in. What you did to your brother was inexcusable. Unforgivable. We raised you better than this. My behavior? Are we seriously doing this right now? Oh, I'm so sorry my fiancé getting with my brother in my own bed was inconvenient for your reputation. Watch your mouth in this house, Dad snapped. We didn't raise you to talk like that. And you didn't raise Damien to keep himself out of his brother's relationship, but here we are. Mom actually gasped. Trevor, that is enough. Damien made a mistake. Yes, a big one. But what did you do? That's who you really are. That violence, that anger. That's the sin we need to address here. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Are you actually making me the bad guy right now? You could have killed him, Mom continued, tears forming. Real manipulative ones. You could have put your brother in the hospital. Over what? A girl? Girls come and go, Trevor. Family is forever. Haley wasn't just a girl. She was my fiancée. We were getting married in 4 months. And thank God you found out before you did, Dad said. Dodged a bullet there if you think about it. You should be grateful Damien exposed her true character. My brain short-circuited. Grateful. Your father's right, Mom added. Better to know now than after you're legally bound. Divorce is messy. Just look at what poor Damien's going through. Poor Damien? Poor Damien? Damien finally spoke up, his voice nasal from the broken nose. Look, bro, I get that you're upset, but you gotta understand my situation here. Abigail, she was going through something. We both were. It just happened. It wasn't planned. And yeah, maybe we handled it wrong. But you breaking my nose? That's not who we are as a family. We don't use violence to solve problems, Dad said. We talk. We forgive. We move forward as Christians. Damien's losing everything in his divorce, Mom said, pivoting smoothly. His house, his savings, his time with the kids. Abigail's destroying him in court. He needs family right now, not judgment. That's his problem. He made his bed. Literally, in my case, now he can lie in it. That's exactly the attitude we're talking about, Dad said, his voice dropping to that disappointed tone that used to wreck me as a kid. Your brother is drowning, and you're standing on the shore watching. What kind of man does that make you? The kind who doesn't reward betrayal. It's not a reward. It's called being there for family, Mom said. Damien needs $50,000 for legal fees. We've given what we can, but we can't cover it all. You're doing well with your business. You can afford to help. You want me to pay him for sleeping with my fiancé? Don't be dramatic, Dad said. You're helping him through a rough divorce. The other situation is separate. The other situation? He was with her for 3 months. In my house, in my bed, probably using my stuff. There's that anger again, Mom said, shaking her head. This is what we're talking about. You're letting rage control you instead of showing grace. Grace? You want me to show grace? Damien will pay you back, Dad added. With interest. He just needs time to get back on his feet. It's a loan, not a gift. You're acting like we're asking you to donate a kidney. I'll sign a contract. Make it legal, Damien said. I'm good for it, man. You know I am. Once this divorce settles and I can sell some assets, you'll get every penny back, I swear. Plus, this could help you too, Mom said. Helping your brother in his time of need? That's the kind of character growth that could really mature you. Show everyone you're the bigger man. The bigger man? He slept with my fiancée. And she slept with him back, Dad said. They're both sinners. But at least Damien's repenting. At least he came here, apologized, tried to make amends. What have you done except throw a tantrum and resort to violence? If you don't help your brother, yes, Dad said flatly. We're asking you to do the right thing, the Christian thing. And if you refuse, well, we'll know where we stand with you. There it was. The ultimatum. Are you seriously threatening me right now? Nobody's threatening anyone, Mom said quickly. We're just saying that family is everything. And if you can't be there for your brother when he needs you most, then maybe you're not the man we thought you were. Maybe you're not the son we raised. We've been talking, Dad added, and we think you owe Damien an apology for the assault, for refusing to understand his situation. He apologizes to you. You want me to apologize to him? It's the right thing to do, Mom said, and then we can all move forward. Help Damien with the loan, apologize for the violence, and we can start healing as a family. Otherwise, she trailed off, leaving the threat hanging. Otherwise what? Otherwise we'll have to reevaluate our relationship with you, Dad said. We can't have someone in our lives who refuses to forgive. Damien just sat there, looking pathetic with his broken nose, letting our parents do all his dirty work. Like always. Like every single time growing up when he'd mess up and they'd swoop in to fix it, while I got lectures about setting a good example as the younger brother. The answer is no, I said. No apology, no loan, no absolution for what he did. Then you're not welcome here anymore, Dad said. Just like that. Cold as ice. Not until you can act like part of this family. Your father's right, Mom added, tears flowing now. It breaks my heart, but we can't enable this behavior. You need to learn that actions have consequences. Maybe losing your family will teach you what forgiveness means. I looked at all three of them. My parents, who'd just chosen the son who betrayed me over the son who got betrayed. My brother, who couldn't even do his own manipulation, had to have mommy and daddy do it for him. You know what the crazy thing is? You actually believe you're the good guys here. You've twisted this so far in your heads that I'm the villain. That's some next level delusion. We'll pray for you, Mom said, that your heart softens, that you find your way back to grace. Don't bother. Pray for Damien. Sounds like he needs it more. Walked out before they could guilt trip me further. Heard Dad yell something about me being dead to them until I came to my senses. Cool. Dead son it is. At least I knew exactly where I stood. And more importantly, I knew exactly what I had to do next. Abigail didn't waste time. Within a week of our coffee shop meeting, she'd hired the most aggressive divorce attorney in Phoenix. But that wasn't enough for her. She wanted everyone to know exactly why her perfect Mormon marriage was ending. She started talking about what my brother did. By the way, Mormon communities are tight. Real tight. Word spreads like wildfire without anyone needing to post a thing. By the end of the first week, half the ward knew. By the end of the second week, everyone knew. Abigail didn't need to blast it on social media or send mass emails. She just told the truth to people who asked why she was filing for divorce, and those people told other people. And suddenly Damien's entire social circle knew he'd been sleeping with his brother's fiancée while his wife clipped coupons. The bishop called Damien in for a meeting. Someone had mentioned it to him. Probably several someones. Damien tried to downplay it, but the bishop wasn't stupid. He'd seen this pattern before. Called me to verify. I confirmed everything. Then Abigail's divorce attorney got involved. Filed everything with the court. Adultery as grounds for divorce. Financial misconduct. The court documents became public record. Anyone who wanted details could look them up. Several people did. Damien's phone started blowing up. Not with support. With disgust. People were asking Abigail if she needed anything. Offering help with the kids. Bringing meals. Taking her side completely. Meanwhile, Damien was getting cold shoulders at church. Canceled lunch meetings. Friends suddenly being too busy to hang out. His co-workers started hearing about it. Medical device sales in Phoenix is a small world, especially in Mormon circles. Clients who knew Abigail, who went to church with Abigail, who had mutual friends with Abigail. They started asking questions. Damien's sales numbers dropped because people didn't want to do business with a guy who cheated on his wife with his brother's fiancée while stealing from his own kids. The comments in the community were brutal. I always knew something was off about him. Poor Abigail, raising those kids alone while he's out doing that. Can you believe he was lying about working late? Extended family took Abigail's side immediately. Nobody was defending Damien. My phone started ringing. Extended family wanting to know if it was true. Church members asking if I was okay. Everyone had an opinion, but nobody was defending Damien. Mom called me crying. She's destroying your brother. His reputation is ruined. People are calling him a predator, a thief, a liar. Is any of it untrue? Silence. That's what I thought. He earned every word of that. But his job, Trevor, his career, she's making it impossible for him to recover. He made it impossible when he decided to sleep with my fiancée. Abigail just made sure everyone knew about it. I hung up. The fallout was immediate. Damien worked in medical device sales, mostly to Mormon-owned medical facilities in the Phoenix area. His sales numbers dropped 40% within a month. Clients were canceling meetings. His boss called him in for a serious conversation about his personal conduct affecting company reputation. He got fired 6 weeks after everything. The church excommunicated him 2 weeks after that. For non-Mormons, that's the nuclear option. You're out. No membership, no temple privileges, basically starting from zero if you ever want back in. They don't do that lightly. But adultery, lying to church leadership, stealing from your family, that's the trifecta. Haley's life imploded just as fast. Haley's name was attached to the scandal permanently. Her job let her go within 3 weeks. Professional conduct violation. She worked in medical billing at a Mormon-owned clinic. They didn't want the association. Her church attendance became impossible. People weren't outright cruel, but the whispers, the stares, the cold shoulders made it clear she wasn't welcome. She stopped going after 2 weeks. Her apartment complex didn't renew her lease. Turns out her landlord went to our ward, and had strong opinions about homewreckers. November. 9 months after everything exploded. I was working on the rental property, replacing some fixtures, when my dad's truck pulled into the driveway. He looked rough, thinner, older, worn down. His face had that gray pallor people get when stress is eating them alive. Trevor, we need to talk. I'm busy. Your brother needs help. We need help. The bank is going after our house. I kept working on the fixture, didn't even look at him. Damien borrowed $50,000 from us to cover his divorce costs. We co-signed. He's not making payments. We can't afford to pay it back. We're going to lose everything. That's unfortunate. Trevor, please. We're your parents. We're about to lose our home. Your mother is devastated. We need you to help cover the loan. I finally looked at him. You want me to pay for the loan you gave Damien after he destroyed my life? This isn't about taking sides. You took a side when you slapped me and defended him. Now you want me to fix the consequences of that choice? We're your parents. Family helps family. Where's Damien? Why isn't family helping family? Dad's face went red. He won't return our calls. He moved to Denver last month. Some entry-level sales job that barely pays his bills. He's living with roommates. So your golden child abandoned you the second you couldn't bankroll his mistakes anymore, and now you're here asking me to clean up his mess. Trevor, the stress is killing your mother. We're drowning. You should have thought about that before you co-signed a loan for someone who just lost everything in a divorce for cheating on his wife. Please, I'm begging you. I went back to working on the fixture. You made your choice. You can live with it. We'll lose everything. The house, our retirement, everything we built. He stood there another minute, then walked back to his truck, drove away without another word. I thought that was it. Then December came. Friday night. Doorbell rang around 8. Opened it to find Haley standing there looking like she'd been through a war. She'd lost weight. Her hair was different, shorter, less maintained. Clothes were cheaper, worn. The polished girl next door thing was gone. She looked desperate. Before you slam the door, please just hear me out. I leaned against the doorframe. I repented, Trevor. I went through the whole process. Met with the bishop, confessed everything, did the whole repentance thing. I'm clean now, spiritually clean. Okay? I made a terrible mistake, the worst mistake of my life. I threw away the best thing I ever had for some stupid, meaningless affair that meant nothing. It meant something when you were doing it in my bed. She flinched. I was confused. Damien made me feel special, made me think he could offer me something you couldn't. But he used me, Trevor. The second Abigail filed for divorce, he dumped me, called me a mistake. I gave up everything for him, and he threw me away like I was nothing. And now you're here because? Because I want you back. I want us back. We were good together. We had a future. I know I destroyed that, but we can rebuild. I've repented. I've changed. I'm not that person anymore. You're exactly that person. Trevor, please, I have nothing. I lost my job, my apartment, my friends. I had to move back to California to live with my aunt. I'm working retail making minimum wage. My entire life fell apart. You destroyed your own life. That's not my problem. I'm begging you. Give me another chance. Let me prove I've changed. I'll do anything. Marriage, counseling, whatever you need. Just please don't leave me like this. You want me to save you from the consequences of sleeping with my brother? Her eyes filled with tears. I want you to forgive me, like you're supposed to, like Christ would. Please don't bring God into your mess. Our religion doesn't... The religion card? Here we go again. She was crying now. Real tears, not manipulative ones. I was cruel. I was horrible. I said things I didn't mean because I was trying to hurt you. I wanted to make you feel as bad as I felt about myself. Mission accomplished. Trevor, I drove 8 hours to be here. To tell you I'm sorry. To beg you to take me back. Doesn't that mean anything? It means you're desperate. That's not fair. I know. I know what I did. I'm trying to make it right. You can't. There's no making this right. There's no amount of repentance or apologies or begging that undoes what you did. You made your choice. Now live with it. So that's it? You're just going to let me leave? Let me go back to California with nothing? Exactly. She just stood there crying, mascara running down her face, looking pathetic and broken. Please, Trevor. I'm begging you. I'll do anything. I'll spend the rest of my life making this up to you. I don't want the rest of your life. I don't want any part of you. You're nothing to me now. Less than nothing. You don't mean that. I absolutely mean it. You showed me exactly who you are. I'm finally believing in you. She broke down completely, sobbing in my doorway, probably hoping I'd feel bad enough to let her in, offer comfort, something. I didn't move. Goodbye, Haley. Closed the door while she was still crying on my porch. I heard her car start a few minutes later, heard her drive away. February rolled around. 1 year since I caught them. My life was unrecognizable from where it had been. Promoted to master electrician. Rental property was fully renovated and bringing in steady income. Dating casually when I felt like it, nothing serious. No rush. I'd spent 4 years with someone who lied to my face. Taking time for myself felt pretty good. My parents lost their house in January. Foreclosure went through. They moved into a small apartment in Mesa. Retirement destroyed. Lifestyle downgraded significantly. All because they co-signed a loan for their golden child who couldn't make payments. Damien was still in Denver. Entry-level sales job. Living with 2 roommates in his mid-30s. Child support getting garnished from every paycheck. His perfect life was reduced to surviving paycheck to paycheck in a city where he knew nobody. Haley never left California. Last I heard through the grapevine, she was still working retail, still living with her aunt. Social media scrubbed clean. No trace of her Mormon conversion or our relationship. Just pretending those 4 years never happened. And me? I was sitting on my back porch with Rocky sprawled across my lap, drinking iced tea and watching the sunset. Phone buzzed. Unknown number. Declined it. Blocked it. Probably my parents with another emergency. Another crisis that somehow needed to become my problem. Not interested. My life was exactly what I'd planned before any of them became problems. Career building. Property investing. Surrounding myself with people who actually gave a damn about me. They could stay wherever they landed. I was good right here. Best revenge really is living well. And making sure everyone who wronged you knows exactly why they're not part of that life anymore. Guys, we are so close to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really helps hit that 100,000 mark. Thanks for making this dream come true.